7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin transmission.
Welcome to Boite Noire Radio.
What is going on? You know, that intro always makes me giggle, Beefy. I try to contain myself, but every time it gets me, I always giggle. Welcome to Boite Noire Radio. I love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, so first and foremost, hello and welcome to our returning viewers. To the new viewers, what's going on? My name is Alistair. I am co-hosted by
Beefy, your shit talking squirrel friend. Squirrel friend.
Exactly. And you know, this is a podcast where we talk about anything and everything. We try to focus mainly on true crime, but you know, everything is fair game. So it's important as you come here and listen to us that you keep an open mind, because most likely we will offend you in some way, but in a very agreeable way.
What can they do if they don't have an
Oh,
open
right.
mind?
If you don't have an open mind, then don't bother. Just get out. Honestly, just get out. Right. I didn't want to say it.
Get the fuck out of
squirrel said
here.
it. The squirrel said the F-bomb.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Beefy, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Are you sure you're not sweating a little too hard?
Yeah, we had like a stressful start a little bit, but hey, we're here. We made it. We got 6 people in here now. Look at that. We've tripled our audience in 5 minutes.
I'm absolutely in love. But listen to me. I have full confidence that we are going to do very well, because we put 110%.
Alicia. That's my
Hi,
moderator.
Alicia.
She's like one of my best friends. Ooh, Charlotte's here. I love my Char.
Salut Charlotte. Charlotte Etienne. That's how you say it.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Hi, Charlotte. Yes. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte. You ever heard of the band? I was texting Alicia about this the other day. You heard of a band called Good Charlotte?
Yeah. Of course I know them.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is fire. That's like 2008 shit right there.
I love that band. So really quickly,
Skater Boy music, I cannot get enough.
I love that kind of music. I think we have a very similar music taste. I think I told you, right? I used to be a goth back at ça va Charlotte. Je vais très bien, merci. I think I told you that I was goth at one point in college, from sophomore year to junior year.
Yeah, that blew my mind when I first heard it.
That music, I'm into it. I mean, I'm into the rave music, you know, like get all like effed up. But no, I was a goth. Spike collar, fishnet.
Alistair with like the hoopy pants and the glow sticks and the
Loved it. It was one of the best time of my life. Absolutely.
Hot Topic, yeah, nice.
I don't remember where I shopped at, but I know the goth had to go because I was one of the very lucky few who graduated and had a job right after college, and I couldn't dress like that at work. And so I quickly had to
Jared asked, Filth Goth or Reminiscence Goth?
Evanescence Goth.
Yeah. I was like both my Valentine Goth. That was me.
Okay.
MCR.
Okay. Yeah, so you know, this is the kind of music I listened to, you know, when weed was illegal back in the day. Well, please.
I was gonna say, did they even have that stuff in France?
Weed? Oh, what? Oh, what? That stuff? Yes, of course. Please.
No, that music.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That was random. No, I really want to address something really quickly before we get into it. Bishi got so nervous before we came on live. If you don't mind me putting it, you know what? It made me not blush. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know what to say, but it made me giggle. It's not a blush. It's more like it's a positive thing, but it's not I don't know what it was, but I was like, oh, don't worry, friend. I'm coming. Bishi got so nervous. I was on a work phone call and I knew I had to be here at a certain time. So, my life is scheduled. Unless you hear from me, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And you were just like, hello, you coming?
Just like
Hello.
the same thing last week. Too. People must think we have like the weirdest relationships where I'm just always
People think
texting
we're having
you
an
and you're not
affair.
answering. Yeah, I'm
We're
your
not having
needy
an affair.
squirrel friend.
We're just very good squirrel friends. Yeah, we're not having an affair.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
No, I like my man hairless.
With no tails, yeah.
Anyway,
Beefy eats too many nuts for me.
yeah.
Sorry.
You're so stupid. I love it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. How was
so
your week?
my week, oh no, please, that worked. But there's a crazy story that I want to, you know what? I can say it. My mother-in-law had to get her AC unit replaced, and she came across the person who was supposed to change the AC unit happened to be a thief. And
Ooh.
oh no, listen, the way my mother-in-law caught him, she caught him with skills, okay? So he walks in, he has his phone and stuff. So he's like, hello, ma'am, I'm here to fix your AC in a very non-technical way. So my mom is like, okay, sure, come in, please fix this. So he comes in with his phone and he puts his phone on top of my mother-in-law's phone, right? He puts it right on top of it. And it's all this space in the world, including his pockets. But he takes his phone and he puts it on top of my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is like, that's weird, but okay. Who's normal these days? Nobody's normal. Are you normal?
Oh, I
Yeah.
would have been instantly suspicious. Like, what are
So
you trying to steal from my phone?
She was suspicious. So he does his spiel, goes around the house, and then he's like, okay, well, blah, 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 blah. And then he positioned himself in between the phone and my mother-in-law and his hand, as if we can't see that. Sometimes I'm like, you thieves are stupid. Really. As if I cannot see what the hell you're doing. I know where your arms are going, and I know I can freaking see you grab the phone. So he goes around and grabs both phones and put it in his pockets.
Wow.
So look, my mother-in-law is like, she's such a sweet lady, but don't be fooled by her voice and her sweetness. She's a beast, okay? She raised 4 kids, single mother. Don't mess with that broad. So she goes like this. She goes, oh my, have you seen my phone? I can't find my phone. Hey, Google, can you call my phone? And Google called the phone. And the phone rings in his pocket. Honey, you know what he said? Oh.
What an accident. I had no idea.
I'm like, really? Let me grab 2 phones and not my hand realize, oh, wait, no, I didn't realize. Let me put it in my really thin jean pocket and not realize. Come on. I was like, come on, thief. You're just terrible. That was a true story. And I didn't believe I said, Mom, you're lying. She's like, no, I'm serious. I was like, Mom, no, it can't be. Like, look, I'm not even a thief. I would have done a little better job. No, I guess he was lazy thief. And so
that is not the best hustle, I gotta say. I mean, it sounds brilliant in theory, but to actually execute it today's age, he would have never gotten very far.
Exactly. And who buys stolen phones these days?
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I learn new things. So that's really
factory wipe isn't that hard to do. I think pawnbrokers are more hesitant to buy Apple products, though.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Beefy, you're teaching me things every day. You and your squirrel face. But listen, that's not even upset. How was your week, Cam?
It was good, man. I don't really have a whole lot to update you on. It's all pretty much just the same, working. YouTube's going good. Oh, you know what? I do have a couple of things I can share with you.
Of course.
Yesterday, I found out I'm getting a raise. It was like almost 5% too, so that was like a random phone call to get.
5%. That's amazing.
Yeah. Pretty good, pretty good, yeah.
And wait, did you ask for it, or was it just like a gift?
So I sat down with the owner of the company I work for back in March. I want to feel like, and I was like, hey, eventually we need to have a conversation about money, which is the polite way of saying give me an effing raise, But I always kind of like let it simmer for a bit, and I was like, let's just try to plot out some time to talk about the future or whatever, And then life kind of got in the way. I kind of forgot about it, and then just randomly out of the blue, he calls me, and pretty cool.
Congratulations. Listen.
Thanks.
it's always important to ask for a raise. And normally you're supposed to get a raise every year. But I also understand that not every company makes profit. So giving raises is a luxury, right? But if you see your value, you should be getting a raise. And so it's unacceptable for you not to get a raise multiple years in a row. If you don't get a raise,
means
because
you're doing
you
something
can't
wrong.
afford it, then
Well, here's the thing too. If you don't get a raise every year, the way inflation is going up, you're basically taking a pay cut.
you get a massive pay cut, not just a pay cut, a huge pay cut.
Yeah.
Huge, because your bills don't give a damn. Your bills will be. But listen, this is how you negotiate when you're facing a company that doesn't have the funds to give you a raise, but you like where you work, and you don't want to you don't want to leave.
Yeah, ask the company if their prices have increased.
You say, you communicate, have a talk with whoever is really in charge, and ask for. People will call me crazy for this, but ask for shares. Simple as that. Like,
well,
okay,
that's assuming the company you're working for is publicly traded.
No, even if it's not publicly traded, no. Just ask.
Oh, you're talking about like becoming.
Yeah, give me a piece of the
like,
big pie.
Give me 1% of the business.
It doesn't have to be 1%. It could be even 0.5. Because if you can't look, because the thing is like I have value. I know you can't afford me now, but who knows? Maybe you'll be very big. So instead of, you don't have to pay me now, but give me 0.5, or give me something. Right?
Look at this. Yeah. He has to think about a step reservoir for the upcoming winter. Jared. Yep.
Hi, Jared.
Yeah, I got a 5% raise. I'm getting paid.
Congratulations.
What is it? Five and a fifth acorns this year.
5% is not small. Congratulations. Well deserved. Good job.
Yeah. And remember last week we were talking off air about how like I've been eating healthy and exercising and all whatever, and like doesn't feel like I'm making any progress. I got a scale last week, dude. The past month I've lost 20 pounds, dude.
20 pounds?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, pretty stoked.
20 pounds is not small.
Yeah, that's like a lot.
A toddler.
yeah, pretty cool.
Beefy, how are your knees? How do you feel? You know what? Can we table that? Because I don't want to take too much time of people here. I'm going to put notes on that. I'm going to come back to this because I have many questions. You know, I'm a nosy creature. Let me tell you, in another life, I would be the detective who's staring at your window in a creepy, non-sexual way. What are you doing? What is that? I'm so nosy. I have so many questions in regards to your weight loss. Super proud of you, my friend. That's amazing. Congratulations. What? That's a big win. I freaking love it. Let me just make note of that so I don't forget. So Beefy.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, did we get disconnected?
I'm here.
I have a question for the audience right now.
Okay.
And for anybody who watches on the replay. So, I know it's spur of the moment, but no, I thought about this. Not spur of the moment, I thought about this. But what I would like to know from you is, if you could let us know, what is one of the top stories that you would like to hear, not only on this channel. Let us know in the chat or whenever you have the time so we can take notes of it. And with that being said, Beefy, the floor is yours.
Oh, you're saying true crime wise. Yeah, let us know what true case you want us to cover next. Yeah. You could definitely use suggestions. I mean, I have a whole backlog of
we have a bunch.
I feel pretty confident I could. In fact, I have cases that some of which I can't wait to get to, but we have a particularly gruesome one this week. So, buckle up, folks. A disclaimer up front that some of the details of the case we're about to go through today, the details will be somewhat disturbing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, just, all the upfronts, from the get-go.
Is it Halloween yet?
Yeah. All right. It's what is it? Alicia says, like, it's after July. We're officially in Halloween season.
Yes. Yes.
We're in the back half of the year. It's spooky season.
Spooky.
All right. So today we are going to talk about the murder of Oakey Kite. This man.
Beefy.
Yes, sir.
I know I say it all the time, but I'll say it again. You do such amazing work. Okay, continue.
Oh, thank you. This took nothing to get this photo. I didn't even take this photo.
Take the compliment and continue.
Yeah. So in 1998, Oakey Kite purchased a 2-story townhouse on South Helena Street, just a stone's throw away from Interstate 225 in Aurora, Colorado.
Wow, what a beautiful town!
I know,
Oh my
right?
God, I
I
wanna
saw
move
that
in.
photo. I was like,
Oh
I
my
wanna
God,
go.
what?
Looks so nice.
Yep, we're hanging out. We're going for coffee. Look, I see a gym. Look at that.
Let's do it, man. Look at that. Just wait till you see. Look at this.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh! How dare murder happened there? What? How can you not be
right?
happy?
It's almost like one of those towns where you would never think that a murder would happen here. Like, murders happen everywhere else. They don't happen in towns like this.
You must be really unhappy to murder someone with this kind of view.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the joke, though. They say that no matter what town you're in. It's like,
Actually, you're
murders
right.
don't happen here. Yeah, we literally just last week we were talking about that.
Look at the snow. You could ski there. Wow. What beautiful town is that? Oakley. Got it. Okay.
Colorado in particular is just really beautiful. I mean, like, what is it called? Something Springs? I forget the name of it, but there are some really beautiful areas in Colorado. I've always wanted to go. But Aurora is like somewhat of a cul-de-sac, like homing area. It's an area just outside metropolitan Denver, so it's suburbs. That's the word I was looking for. Suburbs.
It's where the money.
Yeah. So Al purchases this 2-story townhouse, and he would joke with friends that the home was more space than he would ever need, which would become much more apparent in the early 2000s when Al renovated his basement into a standalone apartment complete with working bathroom and a small kitchenette.
Oh, crap.
In 2002, Al's employer would lay him off due to downsizing, and Al would be forced to rent this space out to a roommate.
Of course.
He was able to fill the space quickly, and although he found employment in rather short form as well, things would carry on relatively uneventful for the next couple of years. However, in May of 2004, the tenant that Al had been previously rented to for the past 2 years would move out, and Al would begin plans to rent the space to a new roommate. After putting an ad in a local newspaper, a few interested parties responded, but one prospective tenant in particular seemed to be much more motivated than the rest. And it was this man.
Oh, God.
And he went by the name Robert Cooper.
First of all, he looks very normal, doesn't he? Like a simple, normal guy. Like, give me a place to stay, please. All right.
But you know when there's a police composite sketch that, things probably didn't go too well. So a man who identified himself as Robert Cooper wanted to move in practically immediately.
Of course.
For him, he was staying at his sister's house and needed to find immediate combinations as to move out from under his sister's roof ASAP. He had cash in hand that same day he came to look at the place, and he gave Al a security deposit and first month's rent that same day. Al's girlfriend, Linda, would catch just a glimpse of this man just as he was leaving this, when he came to look at the house.
Mm-hmm.
However, because she needed to use the bathroom, this passing glimpse would only occur for like a half a split second, just as they passed each other. And she noted that he did not want her to see him at all. She only saw him for an instant. In fact, according to her, he was like looking in the other direction so that way she couldn't see his face. It was very peculiar to her at the time, but she didn't really connect the dots as to why somebody might do that. She described him as a well-dressed man in his 40s with dark, wavy hair, standing about 5'8" and weighing approximately 180 pounds. However, most notable was a slight limp in the man's gait, so bad that he required a cane to walk around, which obviously made his attempts to make a quick getaway all the more noticeable, being how unusual it was that a man with such difficulty walking around would attempt to hustle so much to be leaving. Yeah. I mean, have you ever come across somebody with a limp so bad they need a cane?
Yeah.
they're typically not like rushing to get away from anything.
No.
You know what I mean? They're very much kind of like sit and talk to you as long as possible because they don't want to keep walking. You know.
Of course.
So
Mm-hmm.
to see somebody with a cane trying to hustle back, it had to have looked odd. Like it makes sense that it stood out to her.
Yeah.
On the morning of Saturday, May 22nd, 2004, Al drove his girlfriend Linda to the airport for a week-long trip. When dropping her off, Linda made plans to call Al later that day when she arrived. She would arrive safely and call Al at approximately 3:30 p.m. At that time, during the phone call, he seemed to be in a good mood. He had told Linda he had just fixed a pipe in the basement and that him and his new roommate, Mr. Cooper, were getting along great. They then wished each other a nice weekend and said goodbye. In the early morning hours of Monday, May 24th, so this is 2 days later now, an engineering consulting firm by the name of Carter Douglas took note of Al's absence from work. They waited a couple of hours before trying at home, wherein he did not answer. No call, no show was very out of character for the typically dependent Kite.
Of course.
Co-workers would refer to Al as, quote, a beacon of responsibility. Just like you, Alistair. You always show up for your appointments. Yeah.
What are the odds?
Yeah, right?
So shady, Beefy.
And that Al was regularly late, let alone missing work without prior notice or even notice at all. You know, no call, no show, that's like typically grounds for dismissal. So, you know, to have this guy who's never late was definitely kind of odd.
Mm-hmm.
As the day progressed, his coworkers would get more and more concerned. Until afternoon, wherein they finally called his sister, Barbara, who lived thousands of miles away in Virginia. Confused as to why they hadn't notified authorities already, Barbara immediately hung up, tried calling her brother, and when he didn't answer, she phoned the police for a welfare check at Kite's home. Police responded to Al's home, knocked a few times before making the decision to force entry in the fear he may be in some kind of danger. Once inside, police would find the house completely in order. Although everything was quiet, nothing was disturbed, nothing was on, everything appeared to be right where it belonged. It was only when police would eventually make their way down into the basement that they would come across a horrifying discovery. Oh, Charlotte's leaving. Bye, Charlotte. I gotta go, but I pushed the like button. Yeah, push that like button if you haven't. Replay crew and everyone who's here. I love hearing BP tell stories. Have a great evening. What's that mean? Bonne soirée, bisios?
Bonsoir, good evening. Bisous means kisses. Bisous. Merci.
I like Jared's comment. That's why I have a concealed carry. Wendy Williams is right. The killer is out there, and I don't trust no one. Yeah. Nice.
Ooh, concealed carry. Jared, please stay till the end. I have questions for you. Okay.
About his concealed carry? Interesting.
Yeah. Just questions. I don't know anybody who has a concealed carry. Please, this is an opportunity in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Word of mouth, concealed carry. Okay.
So, upon entering the basement, they would find the body of Oakey Al Kite, hog-tied and with 22 stab wounds covering his entire body, landing in the fetal position of his basement floor. Large spray pattern and cast-off blood impressions covered the walls and ceilings. Responding detective Thomas Sobieski, who described the crime scene as the worst he had ever seen. Kite's autopsy and evidence recovered from the crime scene reveal an extremely violent and ruthless attack. A large head wound led police to believe he was attacked from behind while walking down the stairs. His extremities were bound with cut lengths of electrical cord and tied so tight his fingers and toes turned a purplish shade of blue. Police would uncover a multi-hour torture session that included the carving up of his body with sharp instruments. From there, the killer performed a medieval form of torture called bastonado, also referred to as foot caning. It's where you whip the soles of one's foot with a bare and large wooden stick. This action is extremely painful and was chosen during medieval times over flogging because it would also prevent the victim from walking properly afterwards and was meant as a form of public humiliation. This was typically done in the center of towns with large crowds to gather around and watch. it was believed that there was a certain level of humiliation to this, the caning of someone's feet as a method of torture. And we're going to check out a little bit of the crime scene here.
I wonder if I wonder if it shows that method of torture because he had a limp. It's almost like, hey, if I can't walk, you can't walk.
So we'll get into a little bit of that momentarily.
What I've got here is the crime scene video.
Oh, this is Paul Holes, by the way. It's a show on Amazon. I think it's called oh man, what's the name of it? It's called Roommates or something. Roommates from Hell, I believe it's called. But
Clearly.
the host, his name is Paul Holes. He's the one that basically solved the Golden State Killer case. He's a very famous detective.
He's nosy.
I really want to know.
We haven't covered it, but we've brought up Iran's Golden State Killer. We talked a lot about him last week.
Odds are on this.
The manner in which this crime is committed suggests to me that the victim trusted whoever did this enough to allow this person into his home and to go to the basement with him. And it wasn't until they got downstairs that the violence started.
The offender switched gears.
Absolutely. He became a different person. This is a very protracted interaction between the victim and the offender. He's extremely deliberate in what he's doing all the way through from beginning to end. The behaviors that we're seeing here are somebody who is experienced. He is very comfortable being with a dead body. That is unusual. He's done this before. This is a very difficult offender to catch because he does not confide in other people. He does not need other people. He will never tell someone that he did this. He doesn't need to feel better because he doesn't feel bad.
Oh, it's chilling. Yeah, and we're gonna get into this photograph.
Talk about being a psychopath.
But yeah, it just bone chilling stuff, right?
Bone chilling, yeah. Like look, comfortable being one with a dead body. He is so comfortable. He doesn't. Yeah, he goes to bed at night sleeping and cannot wait to kill his next victim.
Yeah, we'll get into the levels of preparation that went into this too, but this is a very, very sick man. There's a reason this case in particular stuck out to me because I've watched a lot of true crime. I've listened to, if not hundreds, thousands of cases, and for whatever reason, this one, there are a few that I just, for whatever reason, just like stuck in my head as awful, and this is one of such cases.
Is it because you escaped? Wink, wink.
The killer?
No, I'm talking about the reason why you're stuck on that story. Is it because you escaped? Wink, wink.
Escaped? Like I escaped getting attacked?
Never mind. Well,
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
because no, it's okay. No, you said that you are very drawn to this particular story, and so my reply is, well, I wonder why. Could it be because you escaped? In quotes.
I'm the guy. Okay,
right. It's okay. It's my
You
English.
have to explain it. It's not funny. It's
Yeah.
my fault for not getting it sooner.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
probably my English. It's fine. Let's continue.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. After the attack, the killer then made himself at home, helping himself to Kite's food, showering in the master bathroom, sleeping in Kite's bed, even wearing articles of his clothing. He then plugged the kitchen sink and soaked several of the knives used in the attacks in bleach. Over 6 different sized blades, by the way, were used during the attack. According to testimony of Al's neighbors, the murderer left early the next morning after wiping down the entire crime scene for fingerprints and pouring bleach down all of the drains to destroy any physical evidence. Al's cell phone, wallet, and truck had all been stolen. During the search to recover these items, ATM camera footage was turned over by Al's bank, captured when an attempt to withdraw money from cash from his account was made posthumously. There he is.
Oh, okay, sir. You must be out your mind. Yeah, let's go to the bank and swear that. Sure, that's not suspicious at all.
Look at the face structure, like the big nose, like the arching nose here, and then you go back to the composite.
Yeah.
Like, you can almost picture what this guy looks like, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. He really thought that, yeah, okay, I'll just be.
Again, yeah, like crazy that they have this photo. Okay.
Oof.
Al's blue and gray GMC pickup truck would be found just down the street the next day. The interior of the truck had been found completely cleaned and yielded no physical evidence or otherwise.
Oh, he cleaned it out. That's
Yeah.
professional. That's professional. That's someone who knows exactly what he's doing and how to do it. Wow.
Kite's cell phone and another random cell phone were found together, discovered in a homeless encampment in North Denver. However, when examining the trash can outside Al's house, investigators were able to recover a rental application that appeared to have been completed by one Robert Cooper. Trace DNA samples were obtained from this application. However, a match has yet to be made to this day.
Beefy,
Yes, sir.
are you saying that this guy is at large?
We'll get there. In following up on the information contained on this application, the address of his quote-unquote sister's house was actually a building on the University of Colorado's medical school campus. The phone number was tracked back to a burner phone purchased with cash at a 7-Eleven near the University of Colorado. Disturbingly, 7-Eleven camera footage was only kept for a period of 3 days. The exact date of when the footage of this purchase would be erased aligned almost to the minute of when the attacks occurred.
Beefy, is this a conspiracy? Sorry to interrupt again. Wow, that's amazing. Continue.
Well, that was just going to be my next sentence, is leaning itself towards a scary amount of premeditation. That was part of this that like really tripped me out. How does he know when 7-Eleven is burning their footage? And how does he know that they're deleting their footage at all?
Yeah. He must have worked there as a high level employee, as either as a manager or something, because yes, camera footage are not kept like that. They get deleted, but only that's sensitive information, right?
That, or again, it's just a scary level of like
coincidence
recon work went into this. No, I mean, it could be that we're operating on a level of such professionalism that he's doing that much legwork in preparation to know where he can buy a cell phone.
That's scary.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Robert Cooper had apparently applied for and visited several rental properties in the surrounding area, most of which were found from flyers later discovered to be posted at several locations on the University of Colorado campus. These ads were posted nowhere else. Not the internet, not the newspaper, nowhere. He only looked at houses that were on flyers in the university campus. The only one that wasn't was Kite's. That was the only one, and it was in the newspaper. A local professor from the university was one such renter whom had posted a flyer on campus and had Robert Cooper, quotes, respond to said ad, come out to meet with her, and ultimately was not granted the rental. This professor does not recall Cooper walking with a limp and reported the man speaking with a Romanian accent.
What?
Yeah, that was a weird part of this too, is he doesn't do the accent when going to meet Kite.
And the limp, what?
Yeah, and he doesn't have it when he goes to look at the other properties. There were 3 others whom police interviewed who met with this Robert Cooper for one reason or another. The offering of said properties never ended up coming to fruition. All of them reported the same thing: no limp and a heavy accent, some of which reporting was Russian, others thought Romanian. And the same story that was told to Kite, that he was living with his sister, blah, 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 need a property, all that crap. One woman reported getting creeped out by the strange man and noted that he spent the entire time examining the windows very thoroughly and said very little. She described the experience as odd and that the man gave her a feeling of being uneasy. Some of Al's neighborhood also reported having encounters with Cooper, one of which attempted to approach Cooper, however, was completely ignored while he turned his face deliberately away from the man. So one of Al's neighbors walks up to him, and rather than talking to him, he just turns his face and walks away. So he's purposely, like, not showing anybody's face so they can't get the composite afterwards. Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Like he's a professional murderer, and he wants as little people to know his face or features of his face as much as possible, because he's aware that we live in the age where there's cameras everywhere. That, or he has a very, very antisocial disorder situation.
I don't think it's that. I think it's like you're saying, is he took concerning amounts of preparation, whether he does this frequently, professionally, or otherwise. Like, he knows what the F he's doing. Put it that way.
Oh my God.
Both the neighbors will report also he did not walk with the limp. Police would theorize that the murder was a thrill killing or in pursuit of nothing else than the act of murder itself. Although some money was stolen, Al had a lot more money in his account than could actually have been taken. Police have put together a list of characteristics to try and narrow down a suspect. The killer claimed to be from the East Coast, New Jersey in particular.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah. I didn't think about that. We'll put this together.
You know, I'm hard to kill. You have to work to get this meal, okay?
Yeah, don't you have bulletproof glass for your phone?
I have a panic button. You might kill me, but someone's gonna know it's you. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's smart, especially in today's day and age. Oh,
yeah. If you get in, you might kill me, but someone's gonna know it's you. It's too much work. Go to the neighbor's house.
He may have some connection to the banking industry, specifically Wells Fargo.
Of course, Wells Fargo. Who else would it be? The most crooked bank ever. Okay.
He also may have some connection to the University of Colorado in Denver. He may or may not have a sister or mother living in the Aurora or Colorado area. He may have at one point attempted to become a police officer based on FBI profilings, including a hatred of police that may be founded on a denial or failure to become a police officer.
Resentful.
He stands between 5'8" and 5'10". He weighs about 175 to 180 pounds. He has dark wavy hair, and he is believed to be about 40 years old. However, could be anywhere within the range of 20 years old to 50 years old.
20 and 50, that's a huge range.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Police theorize the sequence of events to have played out as follows. Richard Cooper, in quotes, that's his name, travels to Colorado with the intention of torturing and murdering an unsuspecting person of whom he has no affiliation. He finds a place to stay near the University of Colorado for reasons not yet to be known. While at the university, he purchased a burner cell phone from a 7-Eleven and stumbles upon several flyers for rental properties. He meets with the renters, and none of them, for whatever reason, are set up to execute the murder plot to Cooper's wants or needs. Cooper then opens a newspaper and sees Kite's ad. Cooper then responds to the ad, looks at the house while pretending to have a limp, during which he is seen by Kite's girlfriend Barbara, trying to avoid her as much as possible. He then gives him the security deposit and moves in the next day, knowing that Al lives alone, has no family, and his girlfriend will be out of town the following day. So basically, this guy was like the perfect scenario to be murdered. Yeah.
He was exactly who he was looking for.
Yep. Basically, a nobody that would be missed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Police theorized that Kite had a lazy boy in his living room, and with the help of Cooper, moved the recliner down in the basement to make his new roommate feel comfortable. During or after the moving of said recliner, Cooper hits Kite over the head with a blunt weapon. He then ties him up, tortures him for several hours, finally ending in him stabbing him to death. Cooper then rinses the knives in the sink, makes himself some food, takes a shower, puts on some of Kite's clothes, and goes to sleep. In the morning, he wipes down the crime scene, pours bleach down all the drains, takes Kite's wallet, cell phone, and truck, and then goes to an ATM withdrawing $1,000 where he is photographed on camera making said withdrawal. He then returns the truck and phone just up the road from his house. He returns the truck and the wallet just up the road from his house and drops off both Kite's cell phone and the burner cell phone used to make the phone calls at the homeless encampment before leaving the area. He then returns back home, believed to be the East Coast, possibly New Jersey. Kite's remains are returned to his family in North Carolina where funeral services are conducted, and he is finally laid to rest. Police obtain a small DNA profile from the rental agreement discovered in the trash and issue a digital composite of what the man is believed to look like.
Okay, I can see why they can say between 20 and 50. This doesn't look like a 40-year-old man, but people
But
look
you
young.
look at this, and you look at this. That does not look 20.
That
That
does not
looks
look
like
20. 40.
borderline 50. Yeah, that's 40s.
Yeah, 40s.
Yeah,
Wow.
this digital composite is it's been sent out nationwide. This case has been featured on many podcasts. It's like a very famous case that like
Including this
every
one? Yeah.
every internet sleuth goes about. He's on the FBI's most wanted list and is at large to this day.
In Jersey? Look,
Supposedly.
listen to me, sir. If you're looking for me, oh no, I'm not gonna advertise that. No, please stay away. I'm a nice man. Leave me alone. Wow. Beefy, few things here that struck my little brain cells here. I wonder if he was specifically looking for university flyers, because university students or anything related to universities are accustomed for roommates, right? Single family homes don't do roommates most of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus,
So
he was
I
probably
wonder,
looking for somebody isolated, somebody
Yeah.
who's moved away from their family.
exactly, or at least someone who's open to have a roommate, to a living
Yeah.
person, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, you mentioned about his failed attempt to become a police officer. Combine that with the thrill of killing.
Yeah,
I think he's just a very angry man walking about,
for sure.
And lastly, let me tell you something. This is what I say. It's very easy to kill someone. It's not that hard. I think most people are empathetic and nice. If someone's crawling off the sewers and say, "Help me," I'll say, "Stay there. I'll call 911." But the normal person would be like, "Okay, sure, why not help you?" Right? Because people are naturally inclined to help. That's the majority of people. So it's easy to hurt someone because people don't think that you're gonna hurt me unless you're me, right? It's sucky. It's unfortunate that these predators get a kick out of just preying on naturally good nature.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another element to this too, that he likely is getting some sort of sexual thrill out of this. I mean, they say most people who are thrill killers, they're doing it for sexual gratification.
And he's not. Yeah, it's not even a gay or straight thing. I think he just gets a boner.
Yes, power.
Someone's screaming, "Ow!" Ooh, yeah. Ah, yeah, louder. I think he gets a boner out of that. It's nothing to do with being straight or gay. It's just scream louder. Which know what?
It's like last week when we saw Detective Carter or whatever talk.
Yeah.
We know that this is about power to you. It was the same thing again. I hate to keep bringing him up, but it was the same thing with Golden State Killer. He was attracted to the power he would hold over his victims, and like the levels of fear he would strike in them. He was aroused by that, by being that, affecting somebody that much and being that powerful. It's like you're basically playing God with these people's lives.
Yeah. It's
sick.
It's sick. But I can't believe I'm going to say this. So people like that are common. They're common in the sense that you're more likely to run into people like that than that you are not. And I think I told you during Dharma, one trick, pretend like you're into it, and then next chance you escape. I give you another trick. If you fall across someone who's like that, you negotiate. So agree with it and have a conversation and negotiate and play into their stupid fantasies until you can escape.
Yeah.
Want me to scream louder? Okay, I'll scream. You don't have to stab me. I'll scream loud. Yeah, I'll pretend like you're hurting me. Like I'm serious. It's funny now, but it's yeah. You use your gift of gab because you have nothing to lose. Talk, and negotiate.
You ever heard of the toolbox killer?
No, oh God, that
He's
sounds
he's a
ridiculously scary. What?
Yeah, he's a really like one of the baddest of the bad. That's like a really disgusting and we don't need to go down that rabbit hole right now. We'll get there eventually. But he
No.
captured one prostitute who did exactly what we were talking about, where she played along and acted like she liked it and just was very agreeable and was like basically pretending like she was this guy's girlfriend and they were just messing around, with sex stuff,
Mhm.
and he ended up letting her go. And he told her on the ride home, like, oh, geez, if I knew you were going to be this. Oh, yeah, Toy Box. She's right. Yeah, Toy Box. The Toolbox Killers are the guys in the van. Yeah. Alicia's right here. Let me put this up. Yeah. So the Toolbox Killers are the guys who drove around in a van and they torture people with tools from their toolbox. The
Did he
Toy
kill them?
Box Killer, they're both murderers.
Okay, you see.
The Toy Box Killer is a guy who had like a toy room and he had like a box full of toys and he used to bring people to what he would call his toy box. And one of the people was this prostitute who, like I said, went along with it and he eventually let her go. And he said to her as he was letting her go, oh, geez, hon, if I knew you're going to be this nice, I never would have captured you to begin with. It's like, oh, okay, man, that's good. That's okay, yeah. So only capture people that fucking don't like you. Gotcha.
Yeah. Listen, it's a trick. It because you have nothing to lose. You're going to be killed anyway.
Whoa. Alicia's from the same town as the Toy Box Killer. So you're from Truth or Consequences? This is
Are
a
you
rabbit hole.
traumatized?
No, there's a town in America called Truth or Consequences. And the reason it's called Truth or Consequences is because a radio show offered to, I forget what the prize was, but they offered any town in America, I don't remember what it was, but if you agreed, the name of the radio show was called Truth or Consequences. And if you agreed to rename your town Truth or Consequences, they would give you whatever the prize was. I just think that's so funny. Alicia,
What a sell out that town is.
Alicia, if you become a pro wrestler, it'd be like, from Truth or Consequences. I think it's New Mexico or something. I grew up there. I can tell you the whole story. Alicia, can you hop back into the, because we want to hear it now. Hop back into the StreamYard so you can tell us the story because I want to hear it now.
That'll be great.
She has the link.
Do I get to see your face too?
I don't think she's gonna hop on the camera, no.
Okay.
But she'll come.
All right. I'll just hold the fort in my face by myself.
Yeah. What were your other notes from the case?
Oh, from the case? Okay. So let me just cross out the ones that I talked about so I don't get confused. All right. So university, check. All right. The limp and the accent. So I think because he had that thrill of killing, and it's not about the money. And you mentioned about
stand by. Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Alicia.
Can you hear me okay? Hi.
So yeah, tell us about Truth or Consequences.
So it was originally named Hot Springs, New Mexico, which is so common.
I got it right. New Mexico. Look at that.
Yeah. Southern New Mexico. And it's a really small town. And there was a radio show that was called
Truth
or Consequences. And they had a contest and said if anybody would be willing to rename their town Truth or Consequences for one day, that they would go there and host a show, which is like a big deal back in the day. This is like
hold on. But isn't it still called Truth or Consequences?
Yeah. So like this show was like Dancing with the Stars back then. So it had like all the B-list celebrities.
The B-list, I love it.
So like everybody who was anybody was there. And so they'd have like these crazy like B-list celebrities that would show up to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. So we were like, we'll do it because, why not?
Why not?
So we signed up and we did it. And we're like, hey, BT Dubs, if we keep the name, will you come back? And so,
did they say yes?
Yes.
Well, obviously, yeah.
So we kept the name, and they came back for 50 years. They would come back and hold like an annual party called Fiesta, and we would like celebrate changing their name to Truth or Consequences. And so to this day, the town is still called Truth or Consequences. People from there call it T or C, but yes.
So have you been to Elephant Butte Lake where he works,
Yes.
the guy?
Oh yeah, that's exactly where I grew up. Like Elephant Butte and Truth or Consequences are two towns that touch. They they run right two very small towns. Like when I lived in Truth or Consequences, there was one stoplight.
I heard that Elephant Butte is actually really beautiful.
It is. If you like the desert kind of feel, a desert kind of scape, if you will. It's a very beautiful.
How you say that?
It's like
it's like
tons of ground. Okay.
a lot of gravel, cactus, and
yeah, exactly. A lot of like, it's just
rocks,
tumbleweeds. A lot of tumbleweeds just blowing in the wind. So yeah, it's a beautiful town, but yeah, no, that's where he was from, and I lived there when he was active there. So
really?
And he would dispose of his victims in the lake. So to this day, they still don't know how many people, because this is a man-made lake that's the biggest lake.
I thought he dumped them in like mine
so,
shafts.
like, we have no idea how many people he actually did this to, because he disposed of them in this huge lake that's like 5 miles deep. It's
5 miles
scuba
deep.
dive in this lake. It's
nobody's going to scuba dive in this
huge
lake.
body of water.
Yeah,
and,
Alicia, I thought he dumped the bodies in the mine shafts.
No, he dumped them in the lake, and they actually found remnants of them.
Okay.
Like every so often they pull up like a foot or something.
Oh my god! Listen,
and they have to like track things down. But yeah, so it was. That's where it was, and yeah, he had his little RV that he called his toy box, and you can listen to the recordings. I highly don't. Yeah,
don't.
I highly say don't.
Wait,
because you won't sleep for a month. But
what do you mean?
Yeah,
is it, wait. Is it the recording from start to finish?
Yeah, like he reads it in his voice. Like he used to play a videotape for all his victims, and he would be like, "This is what's going to happen to you," like an intro video.
He
like,
He had drugs that he would inject them with that would make girls forget. And so what he'd do is he'd inject the victim, they'd fall asleep, and they'd wake up tied to a chair facing a television. The television would
click
on
a
saw.
Yeah, and he did this so
And
much
then
that
he'd
he
play-
would streamline this down to we just have a welcome video. We have a whole welcome video because
Like
no one
Saw.
has the time to sit down and repeat this to you.
Yeah.
Because that's how many people he was doing this to. I mean, it was awful.
I was about to say, we could cover this guy next week, but the details are, like, horrifying. If you thought this week was bad, it's next level.
Wait, I have one more question.
It will definitely change you.
Do you guys remember the movie Saw? Jigsaw or something?
Yeah.
Was that inspired by this killer?
No.
Oh,
I mean, who knows where people get their inspiration from, but it wasn't like a direct one-to-one. Like, this movie is based on...
But his type of things that he would do would be very similar to that, but in the sexual nature. And so think about, like, that kind of horrific, but add the sexual nature to it, and that's the kind of stuff he would do. He was a sadist. He was a horrible person.
The people who had to sit through the court case, they like needed therapy and stuff, and people were like constantly walking out of the court case crying because the details and the tapes were so horrific.
Yeah.
Alicia, how did you like move about town? I'd be like, I would never go to the store. I go to the store like looking at my back. Like how?
Yeah, it was pretty.
Time with an active serial killer.
This was somebody that we knew. This was somebody that everybody knew. It's a small town. This is somebody.
He was the ranger at Elephant Butte, right? Yeah,
exactly. He was a state police officer, state officer at the.
Oh my god!
So he would like he would interact with people. We knew. I personally knew this person. Like,
oh my god!
and he was picking up victims that were in my age group. Like it really was
Wow.
like mine and my sister, because I had an older sister, so he was that was his age demographic, was that granted we were not in the situation, we were not going to be like his type, because he wanted sex workers usually. So he didn't want people that were going to be fixed.
Bubba's saying the Poughkeepsie tapes are based on the Toy Box Killer. I've never heard of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's really messed up stuff. But yeah, it's a crazy story.
Yeah, and there's a lot more that goes into it. That those case files are extensive. That would be like another multi-part thing. So yeah, we probably won't cover that not anytime soon, anyways. But
yeah.
Thanks for hopping on and telling us about that, Alicia.
Yeah,
no problem, guys. Have a great night. I'll be watching the rest of the live.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Okay, yeah, 100%. Oh my God, I can't even breathe. Beefy, I like once in a while, when you walk down the street and you step on someone's foot, you say, I'm sorry. Or like, when you play fight with someone and maybe you punch them a little too hard because you had too much to drink, you go, oh crap. And they go, ow. And you feel so terrible. And this is why I couldn't be a killer. The first screech, I'd be like, oops, sorry. Looks like it was just a joke. Go home, okay?
Oh yeah, I couldn't live with the guilt. I mean, like you're saying,
yeah.
I bump into somebody and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm such a dope.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, sorry, I put a nail. Oh, this is not good. Okay, how do we forget this? Where's the forget button? All right, bye.
The neuralizer from Men in Black.
Yes. Oh, the forget shot. And I'll bring you back home in your bed, tucked in, and be like, well, this is not my life. This is unbelievable. It really takes a special kind of person to go through this from start to finish.
I apologize too much. Yeah, same.
Yeah, Alicia, I'd be like, oops, sorry. Like
you were asking about his concealed carry earlier, and I saw this comment from Bubba. Dude, he keeps a 38 in his door, a sword behind his seat, a taser on his seat, and knuckle dusters plus easy open Colt Python knife in my pocket. You are armed to the gills. Are you living in a zombie apocalypse, or
John Booba?
John Bubba, yeah, he's our resident comedian.
38 in my door. Is that the name of the gun, or is that
38? It's not a terribly big gun, but it's pretty big. It's bigger than a 22 for sure.
Oh,
it's like a stub nose. Like that's like a standard.
Knowledgeable people. Okay, sword behind the seat. The seat, like what seat?
The driver's seat.
Oh, a taser on the seat, a knuckle duster plus easy open Colt Python knife in my pocket. Damn, John, too much work. This is
I'd be nervous I'd stab or shoot myself.
Yeah.
Oh, plus pepper spray in the truck. Okay, that's good.
Yo, John Booba is ready. Don't come for John. John does that.
I believe he's also he was in a CO, so there's reasons behind that.
Oh, he's a cop.
A CO, so like prison, jail.
Oh, correctional officer. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Did you find something on internet, or do you just want to chat?
I want to chat. I have a lot of questions for you regarding your weight loss.
All right, hang on.
Okay. Let me just tell you, I wish that was your voice. Can we just say it's your voice there? Because
oh, really quick before we jump into anything, did you know that the text-to-speech option is gone on TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
No, I'm not on TikTok. Please, I can barely handle YouTube.
But the text-to-speech voices were iconic. Like that voice you hear, and then the Jesse and the Scream voice. Those are like internet meme institutions nowadays. You've heard them. I guarantee you've heard them. But yeah, they're gone.
How old are you?
34. But I found out. Yeah, there was a lawsuit from the lady who did the Jesse voice, and she never gave them
consent,
the rights to use her voice, and they were just using it. So she sued them for like a crazy amount of money. I think like $100 million or something like that. And TikTok can afford it, like $100 million.
Good. Good. I mean, I cannot believe TikTok was stupid enough to go ahead and not
Yeah.
have this vetted by their lawyers. Are they out of your mind? 100 million is not even that much. I would have
Right,
done 1
like-
billion.
Hire a voice actor for a day.
Or
like
hire a voice
2 grand,
actor
you
for a
know?
day.
What are you doing?
Just being lazy.
Yeah,
Lazy.
Stupid.
Stupid. Yep, they have to pay $100 million. It is. I'm jealous though. Damn it, girl.
Pays that to go, like that's the old Rounders thing, right? Like pays that the man, he has some money. Pays that the woman, her money.
Let's get her. Kidding.
Jeez.
You know, really quickly, have you? I'm sure you haven't, because it's not common. But have you ever witnessed? Have you ever walked into a dead body?
No.
Like open the door and there's a dead body?
No. I mean, I saw a couple of dead bodies when I worked as a firefighter in the ambulance, but I've never just like stumbled upon one. No.
Yeah, absolutely shocking. It's so disturbing. So when you talk about the cops going down the stairs and seeing a dead body, like seeing a dead body is already hard enough, but seeing it,
Oh yeah.
it decapitated and played with dead body.
Ugh,
Traumatizing.
no. Yeah. Some
Very-
things you don't really fully recover from.
Yeah, you don't really recover from that. It will always be in the back of your mind, like because your brain would be like, oh crap, trauma. So it's like,
I'll tell you, I've only seen 2 dead bodies in my life, and one of them was at a motorcycle accident. And I wasn't in the ambulance for the people that brought him to the hospital, but I did like see his face after they took the motorcycle helmet off. And the guy, he looked just like my brother, and I had like nightmares for weeks. It was like I was constantly having this recurring nightmare that my brother was dead, and it was like, oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
Luckily, we were living together at the time, so I get just like, okay, he's pretty.
oh, there he is. Oh, thank God. Thank
Yeah,
God.
he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be calling at like 4 a.m. Like, I just want to make sure you're alive.
Oh, how nice. Was your brother annoyed that you were doing that?
Well, I don't think he knew, because I would just open his door and just, okay, he's breathing. And then go
He's
back.
probably like, oh my God, why is Beefy? What do you want?
Yeah, right.
Oh, siblings, we love them, but we fight the hardest with the siblings. Poor siblings. They mean well, but go over there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was middle, so I got beaten up and I did some beating up myself. Yeah.
Of course. No, there's no such thing as a normal human being. We're a walking bag of traumas. You know what I mean? And once in a while, a coin just falls off the pocket and then detonates. But no, we're a walking bag of trauma. There's I wrote right here to you don't have to change the banner, but to go back to the crime. There's a saying in French called "Vivre heureux, c'est vivre caché," which means to be happy, you have to live in secret. And I brought this to say is because what that guy was doing, forgot his name is, but what that murderer was doing, he was really hunting for people who were very vocal, just very vocal, about looking for a place to stay, specifically for roommates. And, I was thinking in my head, I was like, what if like you didn't, instead of putting the postage at the school, because it's happened in 2000 and change, right? Why not just do it online, right? Because he was looking specifically at announces, at flyers, right?
Yeah.
Why go put it at the school, right? Why not just put it online?
Well, I don't think Kite, I mean, this was back in 2004. He looked like he was already in his 50s, if not 60s.
Yeah.
So he didn't really look like a internet-friendly person. Yeah, and that's probably why the killer didn't go on the internet. It's the same reason. He's got boomer vibes. He probably isn't comfortable online. He's just doing everything on paper. So, yeah.
You're right. You never know who's around you these days, Beefy. It's like, hello, my name is I don't know, Mary, and I garden, and sometimes I pluck my neighbor's eyes out. Like, it's like, what? It's it's insane. Anyway, so I wanted to ask a question about, is Jared still here? I don't have access to the comment, but is Jared still here? Conceal carry. I have a question for you, Jared. Conceal carry means that you're able to carry it. You just cannot show it. Now, you cannot show it in public, or can you show it in private? That's the first question. Yeah. And the second question is that what's the purpose? Like, does that mean that the next person might have a gun, but you don't know? Doesn't that make everybody kind of nervous? So do you end up being super nice all the time to everybody? Does it make the town like fakeish? Hello, good morning. Like, doesn't it, because you're not like, does he have a gun? Okay, well, let's not make him upset. Hello, like, how's everybody else living in a town where everybody is concealed carry? Do people become very Stepford? Right? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Beefy,
Yeah,
is my question make sense or what?
Yeah. You're saying like, are people nervous about the fact that he's carrying around a gun?
Right. So
do
is
they-
everybody just a nice man, a nice woman, and nobody
Like
offends anybody?
Alicia's-
It's people. Is there any fights? There must be no fights because you don't know what I have behind my pants. I mean, under my. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
Right.
Alicia's saying, it sounds like it very much depends on where you are. Like if you're in California, there's probably a little bit of what you're talking about. Like if you walk into a restaurant with your gun, everyone's kind of like, "Oh, hello, sir," like all that. But you go to Texas, it's like they're probably pulling him out and comparing him, and like, "Oh yeah, I got the stub note 30. Oh yeah, I got the 22."
Yeah, it's just I wonder if areas that have
trading
like,
trading Pokemon cards, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
trading
oh, you
Pokemon
got that
cards.
new stub nose. I don't mean to get
yeah.
that.
I just wonder if people are just extra nice when they know that you might have something, so therefore there's no road rage, there's no, everybody's just like, hello, super nice. So okay, John Buba said, okay, so it depends on the state. Now a concealed carry permit.
John Buba.
Legally carry
John
concealed.
Buba.
Now, if you draw it without reason, then you can catch a brandishing a firearm charge. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for the answer. That actually answers my question pretty well. So that means people still are assholes, regardless if you have a gun or not. Okay, perfect. Because if you pull out your gun for that reason, then you go to jail. Anyway, Beefy, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So, congratulations on the 20-pound loss. My first question is, how are your knees? I know it sounds silly, but the first joint you really feel the big difference are the knees, because I know about your knees. How are they since?
I do feel lighter on my feet, if that's what you mean, but like my knees didn't really hurt that badly. I mean, I've definitely had knee injuries, but it's not like I was in pain before. So,
your back, like how are your joints? Because 20 pounds, I said, it's a toddler, and okay. When it comes to the body, 20 pounds is not just 20 pounds. Like when I say I dropped 10 pounds, it's not just 10 pounds, right? So it's much
I feel
more
better all around, but it's probably a lot of too, just like having a better diet as part of that. But yeah, I definitely have more energy to do stuff. Just feel lighter on my feet, happier.
Do you feel more accomplished? Do you feel accomplished?
Yes.
Do you find that to be an accomplishment?
Yeah.
Are you happy with that outcome?
Yeah.
Good. That's important. Some people might not be. And we can sit here and be like, "Oh my God, congratulations!" But if you don't think it's great, then what we say doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I set out to initially lose 30-ish pounds, so pretty close.
There.
Yeah,
you're almost there. Look at you, Beefy. So happy for you. Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
Good job. Let's see.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
How are things going on your YouTube channel? You said last week that you were going to meet with your niece and you were going to post some new content and try some new stuff.
Yeah, it's scheduled. It's so there's one coming up after us.
Nice.
It's a new one from Darryl Brooks. So I am putting a lot of
new hearing.
Yeah, the new hearing. It's gonna come out as soon as we're done here. I'm going to release it. It was supposed to come out at 4:30, but because we were meeting today, I made an executive decision to postpone it and post it after us for reasons I can tell you in private. But
I'm conflicted because I'm finally getting views that aren't related to Darryl Brooks, and it took a while to climb out of that hole. Like I'm finally at a point where YouTube is showing me like other channels your people watch, and it's not like the same 6 people of like you, J9, this family does everything. You know, it's like actually other creators.
Mhm.
And I'm worried if I post, because it kind of happened to me last week. I did a live stream and we watched some Daryl Brooks, and my views like tanked for like a day. It was like I was only getting a few hundred, and it was like, oh man, this sucks. But you know, I went back to posting the other stuff, and it went right back up. So
Let me
you know,
ask
part
you.
of me is, oh yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead.
No. I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry. Go
You're
ahead.
good. I was just gonna say, part of me wants to do the Daryl Book stuff because it is still technically courtroom content, and that's what like most of my sub base wants is the Daryl Brooks commentary. But I have all these new viewers now that are going to be like, "What's this Daryl? You know what I mean? Like, what's this Daryl Brooks stuff?" But I don't know. We'll see.
Are you having fun? That's the most important thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I would say do stuff that you really have fun with, because you know, I think I told you know this. You know, I have been getting therapized in terms of how to handle the YouTube, and part of the process of therapy of how to handle, you know, from the views, the algorithm, the comments, all that stuff, is I'm picking my words carefully. You have to do it for yourself, because at some point, I'm sure you've experienced that we've done it for other people than us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So as long as you're having fun, as long as you're doing it because you want to do it, and as long as you're having fun doing it, because otherwise it's going to show and you're not going to like it, and it's going to eat away your mental health if you continuously do something that you're not having fun with.
You know, when I was struggling to get views, I messaged a lot of content creators just to kind of pick their brains and see what was working for them and what wasn't. And that was just consistently the factor that I hear over and over and over and over again. Because if you're going into it and not liking what you're doing, you're setting yourself up for failure right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because even if you find success doing something that you don't enjoy, even if things do pan out the way you want, now you're going to have a YouTube channel with all your subscribers, and you're not going to like
that you don't connect with. Exactly.
Yeah, that one that you don't connect with, and two, now let's say it gets popular where you're doing that full time, then you're really gonna hate making YouTube. So it's like, well, why did I even get into this to begin with? You know what I mean?
Oh, bravo! Yes.
Oh, bravo.
No. That's you're hitting the nail. That's important, and so that's why, you know. But you have to come to the decision, right? So, you know, at some point, I remember you were getting very upset about the views and stuff, and my heart, that my heart was breaking, but I told you if you were in person, I would have given you a hug, because there's only so much I can say, right? But
yeah,
ultimately, because how you feel,
a level of that, no matter what. As much as I like making the content, I also wanted to be successful in my ventures. You know what I mean?
I
and so
totally agree. But what is the definition of success? What does success mean to you? What is your definition of success?
Well, that's what's so toxic about YouTube, is that there's like literally a metric where you can see a graph of my videos are either doing well or they're not. So you can live and die by those numbers, and I'm trying not to do that as much. But I mean, am I shifting my content somewhat for the views? Yeah, I'm not making the exact content that I want to make. I've had to change my format a little bit than what I probably would prefer. But I'm still making stuff that I like and I like to make. So, you know,
compromising. And also, don't forget, a lot of it is hit and misses, right? Because you might have a topic that people don't care about, and you might have another topic that people care about, right? So you also have to give the grace room of your subscribers and viewers to also say no, because they could be like, I don't like that, so I'm not going to watch it. And you have to give them that grace. It all comes down to how you take that blow. And so there's beauty into it, because it gives you the growth to be creative and expressive and allow a bigger spectrum for anybody to come in. And I know in business they tell you got to know your audience, you got to create a demography. But the problem with that, and take it from me, the problem with that is that, especially in the space when we are online and we have everybody has access to us, is that that's a huge volume it's a huge volume, as opposed, like if it was like a brick and mortar, you're limited to the location. We don't have any location limits. Therefore, the reach can be astronomical, and that can backfire and feedback. Be like, oh my god, I have X amount of subscribers, but this video only had like 300 views, right? And it's like, right. So if you get hung up on that number, it's just going to eat away at your sanity. And
I'm learning, every week to be less and less vested into living and dying by the numbers. It's important than they are, but. We have some of these comments I wanted to reply to.
Please. I cannot see the comments because your
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm blind. I'm following. I'm following. So nothing here, honestly. So perfect.
Bubba says, personally, he likes open carry. That way, you see that you don't want to fuck around to find out. Yeah, so you definitely know who you can mess with and who you can't, or who to look to when shit goes down. Like that guy. Save us.
John, I have a question. John, if you don't mind me answering, are you married?
Can you say his name?
John Booba.
John Booba.
Yeah, John, I have two questions. So, and this is, it's not a jab. I'm really curious. So, are you? Do you have a girlfriend? You have a wife? You have a husband? You have a boyfriend? Whatever you have, do you have that? And if you don't have that, like, what if you want to like date and stuff? And you go on the date, but you have the gun, and then the potential person you're interested to is like, oh crap, there's a gun. Like that makes someone's. I'll be scared to go and be fully comfortable if I'm married. But if I was in a single pool, and I go somewhere and I'm interested in someone and I see a gun, it would just make me so nervous.
Booba Nation.
The Booba Nation. Okay, it would make me so nervous.
Oh, here's an interesting one. In Upside Down Land, no guns. No guns allowed at all in Australia, apparently.
In Upside Down Land.
Yeah, I didn't know that though.
Upside Down Land. That's funny.
There's no guns.
I got your email, Detective Waterford. I got you. Yeah. Anyway, Beefy, was my question proper English? Was that understandable?
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, I think I might be uncomfortable too if I went to go on a date with.
I'd be like, oh crap, this is down. Well, I like you and all, but I don't know if I want to go. Like, because we talk about true crime, right? It's like, oh, get in the car.
I think I'm such a people pleaser that I would hide my uncomfortability just to make them feel comfortable, even though I probably would be uncomfortable with it. I probably don't think I'd say anything. That's just me.
I mean, I wouldn't say anything, but I probably would not be as bold. I wouldn't make the first move, and I would just wiggle myself out to the next person who'll be less intimidated. I will be intimidated, and how sometimes when you like someone,
that's definitely not a deal breaker for me. The fact that
well, because there's so many choices. Like please, in the dating world, if someone says no, move on to the next.
Yeah, that's true.
There's so many choices, so I'll be like, well, I'm interested in that person, but I do see a gun. All right. Too much work, because then this is what I believe. I think if you like someone and you guys connect and you vibe, do it. So if we're about to go do it, it's like, well, get in the car, meet me at my place. I don't know, because you have a gun. Do you know what I mean? Like
leave it in the glove box. Let's see, did John?
Yeah, that's what goes to my mind. It's like, oh crap. But I was just curious. What does someone who's very open...
Okay, so yeah, Bubba answered. So he lets them know right from the get-go that I'm pro-gun. However, if it makes them nervous, I offer to educate. But would you offer to leave the gun, one, either in the glove box while you go to get dinner, or two, would you leave the gun at home if they asked you to? I'm curious.
Yeah.
And Jared here says, I won't lie, the last 4 guys I've dated totally dipped out after finding I was a registered Republican plus member of the NRA.
Oh, wow. Jared, you are... Look, I have more questions for you, Jared. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, my God, my daughter is screaming. All right.
I can't hear it.
Perfect. Very good. So while Bubba is writing his response, I'm going to formulate my...
No way I'll ever go on a date at all. Not many restaurants or wheelchair accessible. Never go on a date? Oh, I hope you're not single.
What? No, Detective Wildfire is on a wheelchair. That's what she's saying.
I know, but I hope she's not, he or she is not single.
No, it's a
Never
she.
go on a date. No way I'll ever go on a date. I thought, I've had her. I knew that. I'll
Oh,
never go on a date at all. Not many restaurants are wheelchair accessible. Huh. Okay.
yeah, that's in Australia. That's not okay. Yeah, there should be. But Australia, depending on the city, right? Because even in New York City, it's not very wheelchair accessible. It's the city.
Because
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, a fire is no more dangerous than a brick. Just depends on who's on the hands holding it.
Oh, so well done. Very well put, John. You're right. Because
Yeah.
I could still be pummeled at that person's house with a brick. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
I mean, what's the old saying? Guns don't kill people, people kill people. It actually
Yeah.
it's cheesy, but it's true.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Oh, in Australia, cops and military people can carry guns, but not normal citizens. I never knew that about Australia.
Yeah, I didn't know that about Australia too. Oh, guns. It's just with the guns, it's just one shot done. But with the knife with the brick,
Oh
maybe I
yeah,
can
this
touch.
was a crazy one. The crazy African woman who killed her boyfriend by throwing sulfuric acid on him in England. Yeah, that was one of the only cases in England where they allowed like assisted suicide. In England, if somebody's like literally living a painful life, they will, quote unquote, let them, self game over.
And sulfuric acid is no joke. Yeah. Um,
Jared, we'll find you love. Yeah.
Jared will find you love. Look, there's yeah. Look, I believe.
Oh yeah, I've heard this story before. That's right. Detective Wildfet's ex was a murderer. I forgot about that.
Yeah. She told me that story. I didn't want to say it because I want her to say it. But see,
She told the story on my channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wasn't that a crazy story, by the way?
Yeah. A wise man once said, "A knife in the hands of a chef can make a great meal, but in the hands of a predator can ruin or take a life." There you go.
Yeah. No, you make a very good point. And you know what? A lot of the times the fear, listen to me, John, a lot of the time the fear comes from lack of education. Obviously, I don't know enough about guns. I didn't know what a 38 meant. I thought he meant 38 years old. So there's yeah, I was like, what? 38 behind the door. So you're 38 years old? No. It comes with not enough education and the presumption of what a gun is, right? So yeah, it's lack of education. No, you're correct. You're correct. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not educated enough in firearms to even have a strong enough opinion outside of what I've been fed, which is, guns are dangerous, which they are. But you know what I mean? So no, you're right, 100% correct. And I want to go back to Jared because Jared said that he lost dates because they didn't like that he was a member of the NRA. Look, I have a question for that. And I don't know, I'm no longer in the dating world and I'm 38 years old. So during my dating days, there was no apps. You had to bump into people. Hello, I like you, and then do stuff.
Yeah.
My question is that when that happens, I'm assuming, right? So the conversation occurs and be like, what are you? Oh, you NRA person? No thanks, goodbye. What do you say? Like, because this is what I would say. Because if I like the person, if like just like you, Bubba, I would offer to educate. Be like, no, that's not how it is. That's not how it works. Is it well received when you offer to educate? Or is it kind of like, oh,
probably not. Yeah, this guy is going to preach to me about guns. Yeah.
Or you get ghosted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. More often than not, it's probably going to be that. It's going to be, oh God, this guy's going to, preach to me about guns is what it's probably going to elicit.
Yeah. Beefy, you say you're 34, right? Jared, how old are you? Maybe you're the same age group as us. But I don't know if
right here. I'm 32.
Okay, so he's 32. So yeah, he's around the same age group, although I'm on the higher end. So you also dated in a time when there was no apps, right? So you also had to bump into people and say hi. And yeah, I don't know, the whole ghosting thing I don't understand. I'm a conversation kind of person. If I don't like you, I say I don't like you. I don't ghost.
It says right here, they usually get the hint when they see my bookcase in the living room. No, it's not well received. It's usually a ghost situation. There you go.
Yeah, ghosting is stupid. Have a conversation. If you're scared, do it with the phone or through text. want to do in person. Just be like, look, it's not my thing. It doesn't work out. Ghosting is stupid. I never understood ghosting. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm personally not a fan. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, but I don't understand people that do it. I don't know.
I think it's because they're afraid of the rejection. What are you afraid of? You're the one doing the rejecting. What are you afraid of? Just say.
Yeah, or afraid of the confrontation, or I don't know.
I mean, unless the person is gonna pummel you and beat you in the face, yeah, sure. But if it's just a conversation of words, if your mind is made up, no, you have a conversation. But you know what? You never know. Your conversation, your thing might change your mind. I'll tell you a story. It's not really funny. I fast forward this really crazy, but same situation back in the day. Ghosted conversation. And I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, okay. I guess I like you enough to stay. Well, because it was a misunderstanding that happened, and we had I was like, okay, well, I can't do this, and it was like, can't do what? So it was a miscommunication, misunderstanding, and it was like, oh, okay, okay, fine, never mind that. Yeah, can you imagine if I did the ghosting situation? I would have missed out on this potential experience. That you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think there's context for everything. You know what I mean? I think if if you're in a relationship with someone or you're a family member or whatever, I think ghosting is really shitty. Like, if you care about someone, you shouldn't leave them to spin their own wheels and craft their own narrative. Like, this is something I learned at work, just being in management, that you really don't want to, because that was kind of my management style when I first got into the office. It was like, oh, you know what, they're not worthy of my time. Was kind of like, that's the way I need to project myself of like, I'm too busy, I got enough going on, I don't need to, you're not worth me. But I changed that pretty quickly, because I realized that when you leave the narrative open and let someone else craft their own narrative, a lot of times it's worse than what the actual truth is, and
Correct.
they will spin up a whole, like, almost a conversation that didn't happen, to the point where it's like you're now two people are completely in different places and not even knowing it, and like one person's angry and the other one's not, and you don't even know. But again, then you talk about like people who are friends or never really got to the point where they're in a relationship, then it's kind of a different thing, because you're still kind of doing that dance of, do they like me, do they don't, or whatever, and that's like a totally different thing. So again, it's like we talked about it last week, it's a balance. Everything comes down to a balance. It's about using it appropriately.
Right. No, you're right, Biffy. Yeah. And also when you have the conversation, it's not about the other person. It's about, like you said, controlling their narrative on your end. Yeah. Unless the person is violent, then you ghost the hell out of them. Matter of fact, you don't ghost, smoke bomb. Forget ghosting.
Yeah.
Disappear. Like, where's
I had to do that with a family member recently. Just go completely no contact, and sometimes
unless
it's
the person is violent,
no,
run. Not just run. Tell the police. Tell your friends. Tell them don't even come here. Get a restraining order. Violence is not, because it always escalates. I have one more question for you, Jared, and because my brain is churning now. So, what if the roles were flipped, Jared? So you say you are an NRA person, a Republican. Are you able? Two questions. Are you able to date someone who is not? And if so, let's say if that relationship went to, like, I don't know, marriage. Are you able to find a compromise in the middle? Are you able to compromise? I'm so curious.
I saw a comment. Okay, there we go. Yes. I saw a comment from her. I think he's kind of playing the single game. I don't think he's looking for love, is what he said.
No. I mean, I'm just curious from his point of view. No, I don't care if he's looking for love or not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Yeah. I'm not looking to date him. Sorry, Jared.
Well, yeah, you're married.
No. But I'm curious. I told you I'm a curious man. I'm very nosy.
Yeah.
Very curious. I ask a ton of questions because my brain churns. But no, it's good. He said yes. So anybody who watches this in the future,
says, I always approach each sticky topic by removing the controversial words.
Mature.
Yeah.
So Jared, do you swing only for males? Okay, so any male out there who's interested, look, Jared, like nice little picture over there, and he's willing and understanding. That's it.
Oh yeah, he's in my Discord server. He's a
Oh,
really
hi,
nice
Jared.
guy. He's really funny too.
Oh, is that the one with the nice hair?
Yeah, he does have really nice hair. And if the Dominicans
I remember.
Hi,
Jared.
yes, if they can't and shut down the convo immediately, then it's a no-go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you always say, like we should be able to have a calm
Conversation.
that doesn't,
Always.
Yeah, that doesn't need to escalate
Yep.
into something more.
Yep. It should never turn violent, and we should always have a conversation. And that's that. Because that's the key, right? Because at the end of the day, listen, at the end of the day, Beefy, at the end of the day, what do we all want? We all want to be loved and appreciated and hugged. Honestly, right? Just don't do that. Do you know what I mean? That's what we all want. And so if you can compromise to where both sides are heard within respectful boundaries, then anything can work. Even
Jared is a catch. Yeah, catch of the day.
You know what?
The only deal breaker for me is someone who doesn't enjoy laughing at themselves. Yeah, that's a really gross quality, right? Like, what do they call it now? The kids nowadays, ick factor. That's the ick factor. Yeah, when they just take themselves way too seriously. It's like they get all upset or up their own butt if they even get like slightly made fun of. Oh, yeah. I hate people like that. Overly conceited.
It's really as if it's perfect. Please, we
really
all have
gross
issues.
Quality. Yeah.
We all have issues. You know my issue, right? We all have issues. We all have problems. Please. Who is perfect?
And if you're in a position where you think you don't have problems, that's probably your problem.
Yes, that's a problem. He's so stupid. I fucking love it. Oh, I love it. This is so funny. Today, Christopher said to me, he's like, "Oh, you're gonna go downstairs?"
We all have our shameful racist McDonald's 3:30 a.m. post drive-through stories. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I understood what he meant. Yeah, we all do. Mm-hmm. What state are you in, Jared? Actually, what state are you in, Mr. Boob guy? John Booba.
So these are all people from my Discord. John Bubba, I believe, lives in Louisiana, and Jared said it earlier in chat. He lives in California.
California. Okay, and Louisiana. Oh, the mosquito.
Yeah, Nolans. Yeah, we were talking about that on another episode. The size of the mosquitoes.
Yeah, this is like mosquito season. Mm-hmm.
I live in Southern California, he says.
I live in middle of nowhere.
Jersey.
No, I love Mexico.
So before we wrap up here, is there anything in the news cycle that you want to talk about? You're always keeping up with current events. What's going on in the world out there? You
want to talk about that? I don't mind.
Yeah. We usually talk about.
I know we do. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't mind. You know, it's my grown-up self.
Politics or pop culture? Do you want?
Look, I haven't had time to do pop culture at all because I'm busy.
Okay, so
but politics, I have to pay attention to the yeah, you have.
What's going on? What's going on out there? Yeah, we gotta make it
already. You Beefy. Oh my god, I'm gonna pull your tail. How dare you? Listen. All right. Okay, you guys all know about the Russian.
How dare eat?
Okay, I don't be bored. Okay, but look, I'm trying to make this interesting as possible. Listen, you know. Very quickly, the invasion of Russia in Ukraine, right? Before we talked about this very briefly, but look. That guy, Prigozhin. I don't know.
The president of Ukraine?
No, okay. Well, there you go. He doesn't know. No, look, listen. You know, there was a coup attempt in Russia that happened when we were in Seattle on vacation. And I was following this through the news, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. This is about a coup." I said, "Christopher, we're going to witness one event in a lifetime we'll never get to see ever again, like seeing the dinosaurs perish in the asteroid." But no, it didn't happen because Prigozhin was a coward. But the point of me saying this is that people think he's alive. No, please, he's dead. Putin killed him. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's in hiding." No, honey, he's dead.
Who is this person you're talking about?
So it's Prigozhin is the general. Let's call it general, is a President Putin general who decided to actually do a coup d'etat on Putin.
On Putin. Okay, so he's the general for Ukraine.
No, he's a Russian general.
Oh, and Putin killed his own general?
So, okay. So his general, Putin general, the president of Russia, his general decided to go against Putin
Ah, I see.
in a coup d'état.
He went like AWOL.
AWOL. What's coup d'état in English? What's coup d'état in English?
I get it. He's like, yeah, well, we know what a coup is. A coup, yeah.
Okay,
Like
that's
going
how you say it, a coup. Okay. So the general of Russia went for a coup towards Russia. And he almost succeeded, Beefy. And not only did he almost succeed, he almost did it like in like 5 hours. It wasn't even like a long
Wow.
day. He just literally marched.
So he was trying to take out Putin.
He was trying to take out Putin. And then last minute, he stopped because he stopped. Nobody really knows why. And then when he stopped, he gave away his weapon and he got into a car and he went to Belarus, which is Putin's ally. And they never see him since in person. Now
Yeah, he did.
Exactly. CNN is like, oh well, everybody is saying, oh, he's just, no, he's dead.
He's in the Rainbow Bridge, ladies and gentlemen.
Rainbow Bridge.
Kids. He's in the Rainbow Bridge.
No, yeah,
It's
he's not
okay.
alive.
He's fine. Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, yeah. I mean, okay.
What else is going on in the world? Anything interesting? I heard that France is like in the middle of a civil war.
It's not a civil war. Oh my God, this issue is so complicated because I have family obviously in France, and my aunt is the head prefecture over there in Paris, and so she's responsible to keeping peace really. So I have insider knowledge, and it's
for the uninitiated, they raised the retirement age like a couple of years. The president did, and
this is past. This is about that boy who was killed by the police.
Oh, okay.
Now the retirement age. No, the French people would have to deal with it. No offense to us French people, but we need to work a little harder. That's it. I've said it. It's a little longer. It's only 2 more years. Allez, quand même, you're exaggerating a little bit.
But she was sending me some photos from. She's down in South France right now on vacation, and she's sending me some photos of you, and oh my gosh, I get why they are lazy or whatever. It's so beautiful out there. Like I just want to sit and stare the whole time. It's so gorgeous. Oh.
South of France is absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful country. I'm retiring there. I mean, I'm going home. No, it's beautiful. The only problem is the drought is really messing things up. But in terms of politics over there in France, there was a murder. Well, it's a murder. A French police officer, killed it's like police brutality. But the difference here is that the kid that was killed was not a black person. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go there. The kid that was killed was not a black person. It was it was Middle Eastern. Now, the Middle Eastern community is rising up and creating all this ruckus. I'm telling you, it's creating. They call it civil war because it's turned into a race war between the blacks of France and the Middle Eastern of France, and then the white people in the center. But don't be offended, people. But that's really what's happening. And so that's what's happening. And so you have the blacks who are saying, "Oh, look at you! Now that one of your own has been killed, you want us to go on the street?" And then the Middle Eastern are like, "Oh, really? Look at you! We colored whatever, but you won't rally up for us." It's a complete mess. I don't mean to scream and blow your ears out.
You're good.
It's a complete mess, and that's what is turning into what it seems like civil war. Now, make no mistakes. Now, civil war. Please, French has an army strong enough to put that down, but it's in the constitution to have the right to riot. Now, they're just going to ride this wave, and nothing's going to change. Like most things in the world. That's it. No, it's just because politics. It's part of my life. I have to pay attention to the politics because number one, that's how I make my money. Long story, and number two, I'm naturally skittish, and if I need to escape, I need to escape somewhere. I need to know when's the right time to pack up and leave. You know what I mean? So I had to pay attention to the world events 99% of the time. Yeah, because the laws that are passed from the state level to the federal level, district level, all that affects my potential to make money. So I need to pay attention to what's going on. Oh my God. And who people are being voted in. I don't mean to bore you. I know it's boring.
No, you're good. It's not that boring. I find it rather fascinating. But we are getting on pretty late here. So yeah. Do you have a final thought for our viewers? Because if you don't, I do.
Oh no, you go first, Beefy. Come on, you go first.
Okay. So this past week, I have learned this lesson that I hope you people will take with you, as I did. It's really easy to look at all the things that we don't have, like play the grass is greener card. But what I have learned recently is I need to appreciate the things that are there in front of me. The simple things like getting a raise or losing weight or having the apartment to myself. Like it's really easy to feel bad for myself that my girlfriend broke up with me or whatever, cheated on me, well, whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's easy to fall down that rabbit hole. But what I need to do and what we should all do is no matter what's going on, whether you have your health or you have money or you have a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards or whatever, whatever you have, a dog that loves you, there's always something that could be gone and that you should feel grateful for, and it could be gone at any minute. So take the time this week as you go out there in your lives to, give that person you love a little extra hug or your puppy a little kiss or whatever it is, because all life ends eventually. So that's oh wait a minute, we didn't did you have one too?
I absolutely love it. My heart is bleeding again. I'm not hitting on you, but my heart is bleeding out, Beefy.
Oh.
Amazing. I'm on the verge of tears because what you're saying, it's true.
Sorry.
It's so true. It's so true. I mean, nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. One day, look, I'm gonna give you a harsh reality.
Hey, before you do that.
Final thought.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. I love this. Okay. No, nothing lasts forever. I have a harsh reality for you all. If you haven't realized, we're all gonna die one day. And guess what? The last moment of life when you are transitioning away, people say, "Oh, you don't die alone." I have news for you. You end up dying alone. And I'm going to explain to you how that works. Because as you lose ability of your faculties, you won't even realize the people who are going to be around you, and then you slip away into nothingness. There's a process of death. There's a biological process of death. And the terrible thing about it, and this is Mother Nature being a bitch, is that she makes you aware of that situation. And as you drift and slip away, unless you have something up here that's not working properly, you know what's happening to you, and you always go with a heavy heart. And so it's important, as Beefy said, appreciate every single moment. Nothing lasts forever. One day this will end. One day I won't be here. And
Neither
so,
will I.
yes, nothing lasts forever. I'm shaking because I emotionally resonate with what you just said, and it's amazing, and I wish more people operate like that, because it will make the world a much better place. People wouldn't have to stress so hard about other people's point of view, because they wouldn't have to worry about, oh, you might think like that. Am I in danger? Am I safe? They would just take your point of view and just learn from whatever, enjoy the moment with whoever.
The world would be a much kinder place if we all appreciated
So much
each other
kinder.
and
And a lot safer
the ones
if
that
we
we
didn't
have,
get stuck in the whole like, oh, but you don't think like me, not like that. Like, come on, who has time to think like the other person? Please, having a twin is a pain in the ass. Anyway,
I'm lucky enough that I haven't had to experience great grief.
Yeah.
But Beefy, the real Beefy, my dog, he's definitely in his latter years, and he's old, and he's got a lot of ailments. And every day, I am thankful that I still have him here, because it could literally be any day now. Literally any day could be our last day together, and so I still get to take him and walk him, and I'm grateful for that. Every day I got my little Beef next to me, my sidekick, because it's going to be a very sad day when, like you said, he eventually crosses the Rainbow Bridge all alone. Even though I'll be there holding him, crying probably,
Yeah.
He's still got to go face that journey by himself,
Yeah.
as we all do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was
So
a
love your
great,
loved ones.
it's a great final thought. Beefy, how dare you?
Good
How dare
show.
you?
Good show. You want to take us home?
My heart. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
Jared threw this one up. Yeah. Chicken soup from the nut stash. So we should change the segment to chicken soup from the nut stash. That sounds dirty. I'm taking that down. From the nut stash.
Dude, because we have dirty minds. Yeah. I bet you some the nun didn't think it was dirty.
Oh, you're awesome, Jared. Thank you. And thank you guys so much for hopping in. We had almost 10 people in here at one point. I mean, last week I said something about only having 10 people. I was on Twitch this week. There are people on Twitch that are dying for 10 people to show up every week. So I appreciate all you guys for hopping in here. We both do. It's great.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
We're literally talking about appreciating those that we have.
Yeah.
We have all 10 of you, and we are grateful that you're here and that you watched. So thank you.
All I need for Christmas is you.
Mariah Carey. Yeah.
I have a mic. All I need. I don't know the lyrics.
Well, you gotta hit that real high note.
No, she puts her hand behind her ears.
Ow. Okay, yeah, it's definitely time to wrap up now. Take us home, Alistair.
Are you saying I can't sing? Who the hell do you think you are, BT?
All right.
By the way, before we leave, every time I look, because there's a camera right here, but I'm looking at the screen over there. But you know what my eyeballs are looking at? I'm looking at the freaking squirrel that's not even moving or doing anything at all. Like, how ridiculous is this? This is what my eyeballs look at every time it's together. And like that's what I see. It's so crazy because I'm staring. It's as if you're in front of me, but I'm staring at a static picture of an open mouth and canines and gibberish, which is squirrel anyway.
Yeah, squirrelish.
Okay, so I take us on the outro. Thank you. Biffy, you almost made me cry. How dare you? Anyway, thank you so much. Listen, thank you so much for coming. You're one of the best things that ever happened to us. See you next week. And what, Beefy? What?
Nothing.
You moved this thing.
No, I had to upload the outro, but you're good. Do your thing.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. We love you.
I am shaking. Bye.
Thank you for watching.